Okay, guys and gals. Well, this is going to be interesting. No joke. That we have a person on Kendra G show who confesses to be HIV positive, and that's no laughing matter. Which is one of the many reasons I always get on women to stop going out here and having this casual sex with everybody. You need to find a good man and marry him. Work out whatever your differences are. And a lot of y'all women are out here having sex with multiple guys. Most of y'all ain't having using any type of protection. And most of y'all, the ones who run around with 4, 5, 6, 8 kids, those are the ones they got pregnant with. The human reproductive system is horrible among most mammals. And so you may have sex with, and the older you are, the harder it is to get pregnant. So you could have sex with 20 guys and not get pregnant, especially if you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. And you still popping out kids in your 40s or 30s, who knows how many bodies you would. The old thing when HIV first came out is that every the person that you had sex with is like having sex with every partner they had sex with. If you think about it, that sounds quite nasty. But it's no longer a joke. And we're going to go into it. We're going to hear her story, and I'm going to do some comment. This is not a laughing matter. I'm not going to shoot up any bullets across the bow. I commend her on telling the world that she has it, even though she doesn't have to. So let's go ahead and get into this.
All right. You ready, girl?
Hi.
Hi, get in the middle of the camera. Ooh.
Okay. I'm
The
trying.
other way.
This
Just
where
go
the
to,
party is over here.
go the other way, Capricorn.
Okay. The other way.
There we go.
Okay. Can you see me?
There we go. If you stay like that, I
Stay
can.
like this. Can you hear me?
Okay, Capricorn, you gotta look at me. I'm seeing your wall now. Ooh,
Yeah,
child.
I'm trying to get. Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay. Okay. Let me move this. Okay. So I had to get on my iPad.
She having problems with that iPad today.
But why can't you look at me? You're looking at something else.
See, when I look at you, I'm looking at you. It's something over here that I can't.
Okay, look at the camera. Don't look at me. Look at the camera.
Looking at the camera, but I have
No,
some
you're
kind
looking
of.
at yourself. Look at the camera on the iPad. If you were gonna take a picture, look at. No, you okay?
That's better.
This is better, but bring it down a little bit. Okay.
I don't know how.
All right, you ready? If you
I'm
stay like
ready.
this, I could work with it. Is your
Okay.
name Capricorn?
No, my name is Nina, and I've been on your show, probably in 2023 sometime. Um,
Okay, bring the camera up a little bit so I can see your full face. So you have an update?
no, I don't. Um, I don't have an update. I just want to try again.
Okay, you want to try again? All right, I
Hmm.
hope we can get this camera together, girl.
I know I'm on this iPad, and I'm. Let's try.
All right, you got to. All right, let's try. Nina, where you calling me from?
I'm calling from North Carolina. I'm like 18 miles east of Charlotte.
Okay. So we got Nina, North Carolina. How old are you?
I'm 57. Just turned 57.
Okay. What's your zodiac sign?
Capricorn. Capricorn
That's
chick.
right, duh,
Capricorn.
Capricorn, right?
Yes,
So Nina, 57, Capricorn, North Carolina. Do you work still?
I do.
What you do, honey?
I work for medical emergency transportation, and that's I transport people to doctor's appointments during the day, and I work at a group home at night, taking
Okay,
care of adults.
take care of those. Okay. So we got Nina, 57, Capricorn, in Charlotte, works for a non-medical emergency group home. Do you have any kids?
I have two adults. My daughter will be 40. My son will be 32.
Both by the same man?
No,
Okay. Have you ever been married?
no.
Okay. All right. So we got Nina, North Carolina, Charlotte, non-medical emergency group she works for, 57, Capricorn, mom to two, by two men, never married. What kind of man you looking for, Nina?
I'm looking for an honest man, a man that likes to have fun, a man that's first loves God. I love God. Um, I need a man that's we're equally yoked. Um, that we believe in the same thing. I need a man that works hard. And when I say hard, just go to work, make an honest living, come home, that type of man that don't go out in the street and party and I don't want no crackhead. I don't want no alcoholic. I don't want a man that's got somebody else. I want a single man, not a man that has possibilities.
Okay. What's your deal breakers?
Okay, so this is why I wanted to come on the show. So, um, deal breakers is domestic violence. I don't want a man um that feels like he has to express himself verbally or physically in a domestic way. I've been there, done that with that. Um, I don't want a man that has children that are under 10. Um, and I don't want a man that stays at home with his mom unless he's the primary caretaker of his mother.
Okay. 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 Well, sorry what you've been through. Sorry what you've been through in your past and dating. Should he look a certain way?
Um, no, I just want him to be easy to my eye, and that's just I like tall, dark. Um, but lately I've been dating um light skinned men. Trying to go to the other side, but then don't work out. It don't work out. I like them dark skinned. I like them. They can have a little put belly. I like a man that works in the yard. Know how to keep up the yard and have something that he does when he comes home from work.
Well, the only problem I have with that depends on how young he is. He may not want to go out there and work in that yard every single day. As we get older, we don't have that energy like we used to be when we were younger. So we might just go ahead and get a gardener or hire somebody to come out and do our lawn. Me, I would prefer to go hire somebody to cut my grass because by the time I get home from work, I don't feel like going out there and cutting no grass. So I don't. She might find that man. Who knows? But she may have to. She may have to go younger.
You know.
Okay. Well, he does when he comes home from work. All right. Should we got that? Should he make a certain amount of money?
His money, whatever that is. I want him to have his own money. I'm not looking for somebody to take care of me because I can take care of me. But I would like if we become, we get to know each other and we become a part of each other. That maybe we might can help. We can help each other. I want him to make more than me. Because I work two jobs that's $20 an hour, both jobs. So I need him to upgrade me. So
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. They get old and now they want to get upgraded. Here's my thing is, women, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to get upgraded, the best time for that to happen is in your 20s. Don't wait till you get 30, 40, and 50 and the time that you want to get upgraded because all those good men that you wanted and you bypassed when you were in your 20s and 30s, they either got snatched up off the market. And the only ones that's left is the rookie Ray Rays and Pookies that everybody else is sharing. So y'all need to pick the man that you want in your prime and not trying to find him when you already in your 40s and 50s and 60s. I mean, look at Vivica Fox. When she was young, fine as wine. Now she's 60 years old and still can't find a man. So I think y'all need to adjust your clocks so that you can find the best man you can when you are at your best. Not trying to find one when you at your worst. Because a man it's less likely to leave you than a woman is. A woman will leave a man on the drop of a dime. But a man will stay with you even if you start to deteriorate. And some good women would do the exact same thing for a man. They'll far and few apart. But if you get him, he's more likely to stay unless you start not giving him any peace. So let's go ahead and continue with this.
some kind of way.
Okay, you got to upgrade her some kind of way.
Yeah.
All right. So there's no minimum requirement.
I would say at least 50,000.
Okay.
Um, 50,000 to 200,000. I have best friends, and they're at 200,000 range. You know,
You have what?
I have.
Baby girl, you are too old to be asking for $200,000 of anybody. And you saying you got friends? I guarantee them women hooked got up with him before he was making 200,000. You're not finding anybody getting 200,000. You're way too old. You're way too big. No one's going to buy you for 200,000. No, you be lucky if you get the average guy making $45,000 a year. I don't know why y'all think your value increases when you get older. It doesn't. And I don't know what to tell you to make you realize that your prime years is when you're supposed to find that good guy. Find yourself a build-a-boo and stop going after men that every other woman wants. There's a lot of guys out here making $45,000 a year that most women walk past every day and don't pay them no mind. They won't cheat. I tell women, find the bornest guy you can find and who has ambition and build with him. Same thing for men. Find the bornest chick. You know some of the best chicks I ever had? The ones that had hobbies, the ones that read books. Not the ones that hung out in the club, not the ones that hung out in the streets. The ones that they got bored, they went and crochet. Or they went and read a book. Never got on my damn nerves. Some of the most pain in the ass women are the ones that constantly clinging and want to do something. Every time they want to do something, it always costs money. Oh, let's go out to dinner. Didn't we just go out to dinner 2 days ago? Yeah, I want to go again. No.
Best friend guys, and they're making $200,000. You know.
So what's up with them?
They're best friends. They're guys that I hang out with. They're high school.
Well, why are they best friends and why can't they be your man?
No.
Because you're too old. No one wants you at your age for $200,000. Come on. You would never pay $200,000 for a used Mustang with 400,000 miles on it. I don't even think Mustangs even make it at 400,000. And it's a 4-cylinder. But yeah. Yeah.
A couple of them are married. It's a lot of us that stay connected throughout high school.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
And we do things together. So
you asked them if they got any single friends that would be good for you?
No, not.
Come on, Kendra. You know good and well ain't nobody making $200,000 is going to choose her. I don't know why you giving these women false hope. Tell her to go find her a nice little $45,000 a year guy. Now, she did say she didn't really have a money requirement but then she turned around in the same sentence and said she wanted a guy to upgrade her. So, take that with a grain of salt.
Really?
Ladies, if you are here's the deal. I always say this. I love that y'all call me. I want y'all to be on the dating app. I want you to come on the show. But everything I do should be second to your reality. So if you have men that you think are dope and just not dope for you, ask about their friends. Hey, do you think you have a friend that would be a good pair for me? Because you're telling me you got friends that make $200K. That means they're around other men, and pick their brain and see if they know somebody.
Come on, Kendra, really? If a guy's making $200,000, he's going to get the cream of the crop. He's going to. He's not going to get an older woman who's not going to be on this program. He's going to get a woman that's 22, 23, 24 years old. He's not going to go after no. I don't know why y'all women think that men are attracted to 50-year-old women. No idea. Even without what she has, making $200,000, you are in the top 3%. And you got all these women chasing after you. I mean, you're not making $200,000 after Uncle Sam get a hold to you, but but he has a pick of the litter. And boy.
Well, this is the deal, and it's before you pick me, I was like, do I really want to come on here and tell this? I'm very open, but it's okay because I'm not afraid of what people in the comments may say. My friends are very protective of me, and that's why I said I I hit you up and I was like, Kendra, I need to have a private conversation with you because then I need to let you know this, that, and another, and then maybe you can see where I'm coming from. So, just to spill the tea,
Well,
they're
hold
very
on.
protective.
Here's the deal. I actually do have a private group that you could have been a part of, and we could have had a private conversation. But you're on the public platform, so just know anything you say will be shared with thousands and thousands of people. So only share what you want to share with thousands of people.
And that's fine because this would be this what I'm sharing and trying to get hooked up is a stretch because I'm HIV positive. I'm
Okay.
very open about being HIV positive. Um, and I date and I get them relationships, whether they be sexual or not, and they like me for me, and then when it comes time, if we decide to have sex or whatever, it may go on for months, and then it may be I can't do this anymore. I use protection. I tell a person if I think I'm going to get to that place, maybe sex, hey, I'm HIV positive. I can tell them everything. I'm undetectable. My viral load that I can't pass it. And but me knowing that and telling them that, and they okay with it for 5 6 months, but I can understand where they say, well, I don't think I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, I don't hold them at fault for that. Just be honest with me because what I know I need is a strong spiritual, God-led man that understands and do and might be people might say, well, why don't you find somebody that's HIV positive? I don't have a problem with trying to match with somebody that's HIV positive. The problem is he healthy? Because I'm healthy. I know that being intimate with somebody that's HIV positive that's not healthy, it can be another strand come in, and that could be detrimental to me.
Now, here's a little bit about what she's saying. Now, HIV, there are multiple HIV mutates often, so she can have one strand and someone else can have another strand. Now, some of the new medicines they have out are wonderful. It's not back in the day '80s when they were giving, I think it was called AZT or whatever the hell that shit was called. I don't know what they're giving out now, but some of the new stuff is so good that it will it would raise your T cells and lower the virus count to the point if you went and took an HIV test, it would show you as negative. Now, that's the scary part because you can go go get tested, and if this person is taking the medicine and you don't know about it, their test is going to come back negative. If they don't keep taking the medicine, the virus will become active again, and then he's going to be able to transmit. So the part about they won't be able to transmit once their virus levels gets down low enough is correct. The same thing for whoever partner she gets. If he's taking his medicine, he can't pass whatever strain that he has. So I guess she's assuming that she's dating guys who's not taking medicine or refuse to take medicine. But the problem is, you cannot ever stop taking it. This is medicine that's going to be the rest of your life that you're going to have to take till the day you die. So if you one of them people that don't like taking medicine, you don't want to catch the disease. Now, like I said, I wish I knew the name of it, but I've stopped keeping track of that stuff a long time ago. But yeah, the stuff they have out now is wonderful. It is saving lives. People, it used to be a death sentence back in the day. I was trying to find a young lady. I couldn't remember her name. She had multiple colored hair. She slept with a lot of stars, and she was going raw with everybody. 10 years later, she goes from, she didn't even know she was positive. So she went from HIV to full-blown positive. She dropped down to, I think, like 50 pounds. If y'all guys remember what her name is, put it in the comments. Because I cannot find her for some reason. She went down to 50 pounds, 60 pounds. Small girl. She was already small. Got a bunch of tattoos all on her neck and everywhere. And I think she lost sight in or partial sight in one of her eyes. She had to get eye surgery to correct it. Don't know if that ever fixed it or not. But let's go ahead and continue this.
Me. When my viral load is undetectable, and my T cell count is like 1911, that's really, really good for a person living not AIDS, HIV positive. So I don't want to be with somebody and then we have sex and then I catch whatever strain he has, and but I use protection, and then something happens to me.
Well, I think your concern is going to be another man's concern, right? Like, first of all, I appreciate your transparency, but just how in your mindset you wouldn't want to be with a person that's HIV positive, there's going to be men that's going to say that's a non-negotiable
Right.
for them from the beginning. So I appreciate your transparency. I definitely cautioned you before you shared it, so you were fine with sharing it with everyone. I guess if you want to share, how long have you been HIV positive for?
30 years.
30 years. Okay.
30
I will
years.
say this. I mean, HIV is still to some people non-negotiable, but we have the medical field has made so many strides with HIV. It's not the death drug that or the death STD that it used to be many years ago. People
Right.
live long, healthy lives with HIV. So if you want to be educated, you can learn that people are living with HIV and they're living wonderful, amazing lives. But yes, someone has to make that decision for themselves. I think it's amazing. I think you have to tell people. You have to tell us on our show. But I appreciate your transparency and letting the
And
audience know.
I in the state of North Carolina, I don't have to tell anybody that I'm HIV positive if I'm in a relationship with them, because that's the law. And how the law is, but I will, because of my morals and my values.
North Carolina's HIV laws include control measures. People living with HIV, PLHIV, must follow certain control measures to prevent the spread of HIV. Sexual activity. PLHIV must use condoms during sex unless certain exceptions apply. Exceptions include if the PLHIV's partner is also HIV positive, or if the PLHIV is in HIV care and has been virally suppressed for at least 6 months. Needle sharing. PLHIV must not share needles or other drug-related equipment. Donations. PLHIV must not donate blood, plasma, platelets, organs, tissues, semen, ova, or breast milk, except under certain circumstances. Disclosure. PLHIV must disclose their status to sexual partners. Misdemeanor charges violating these control measures can result in misdemeanor charges. The punishment for violating North Carolina's HIV-specific health code section can be up to 2 years in prison. General criminal laws. PLHIV can also be prosecuted under general criminal laws, such as assault or reckless endangerment. Reporting. Healthcare providers must report cases of HIV to public health officials, even if the case has been previously reported. North Carolina's HIV control measures were modernized in 2018 and are largely restricted to people who are not virally suppressed.
Medicine, probably high cholesterol medicine to take care of her high cholesterol and high blood pressure, and she probably has type 2 diabetes. I know when I had diabetes, my doctor would send me as much as 3-4 times a year, and then it went down to 2 times a year just to make sure that my type 2 diabetes will reverse. You have HIV and you go to the doctor once a year? How that doesn't make any sense to me. Eight, hypertension, which we call the silent killer, and you still, and I know you pops. I mean, she could be possible at her size. She don't have type diabetes, but I doubt it. That's not the case. I doubt that's the case. So you should be going to the doctor more than 1 time a year, at least twice, at least every 6 months, and just for them to even monitor and make sure that the medicine is still working. So I think she should go in and talk to a physician or whoever primary physician is, and wonder why she's only being, visiting her doctor 1 time a year. That's a little worrying to me. But let's
No,
continue.
so it's me knowing that I can say that and very proudly say that and okay with that. but getting across to the opposite sex and somebody that doesn't know or not educated, like that's a bunch of BS. You know what I'm saying? But it's really not. It's, people are living with it, and then of course you have somebody that could take the pill themselves if they want to be in a relationship with me and protect themselves. Both of us. But it's just it's a lot of different ways. This has been.
Either which way, girlfriend, is to date you and you not HIV positive is a high risk because all it takes you is you stop taking your medicine and you'll be transmittable again. So basically, I shouldn't say basically, you will be putting somebody else's health at risk if you stop taking your medicine or you for whatever reason you decide to. If you decide that, or you're so in love with this person, you want to trap them, you want to, which we heard stories of that back in the '80s that, guys were doing that to people, and I don't know, I guess women might have been doing the same thing, but I heard it mostly in the gay community or the rainbow community that was happening in. I wouldn't doubt it was happening in the heterosexual also. That people were intentionally giving people that stuff just so they would stay with them, which I think is deplorable. But it's going to be hard for you to find somebody who's not HIV positive that's going to want to date you because there's too many risks at play. But let's go ahead and continue.
One of the hardest things for me to deal with. But it has been one of the most, I accept it. I'm okay with it. It is what it is. The hand that I was dealt, I take it and I walk with pride. So.
I think a couple things. I love that you're still living a life because that's what you're here for, right? We're still living a life. I think the lesson in this though, because you said it's not required to share in your state, which I did not know. This is why before y'all get hot and bothered with each other, y'all should be requiring STD tests because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you have to be responsible.
I agree 100%. But here's the problem. There's two type of herpes. On general checkups, unless you persistently, when you do an STD checkup, they don't normally test you for herpes. One or two. One is airborne, which is chickenpox. The second one they call genital herpes. That's the one that usually spread through sex. But so if you ever had chickenpox, you got herpes 1, which is most of the population. Herpes 2, it's highly contagious. So if you're having sex with people you don't know, you put that condom on. I highly recommend you maybe use a pair of gloves and take that thing off. Don't use bare hands and then turn around and stick them fingers in your face somewhere because you can spread it that quickly. Herpes is extremely contagious, and you can even catch it without even having sex. You can just dry, and some of that fluid gets on you, and she's having an outbreak. You done. The only good thing about herpes is that it's usually she's contagious or he's contagious when they're having a breakout. Not to say that you can't catch it if they're not having a breakout, but you're more likely to catch it if they're having a breakout. So let's go ahead and continue.
For yourself, and I think everyone should share, but HIV is one category. There's a lot of people that got herpes who don't ever tell somebody before they have sex, and morally it's not right, but legally it's not against the law. So if anything, this lesson, one of the things that should come out of this is y'all should definitely be requiring people.
Yes, and something I forgot to tell you about herpes. If you're dating a girl and she's constantly having UTIs or yeast infections, you may want to get her tested for herpes. Herpes 2. A lot of women that have repeated UTIs and yeast infections usually have herpes. That's why I don't really mess with girls with them tight pants and all that other stuff. That won't give you herpes, but it does. Anyway, let's get off that topic. But there are more than just those diseases. Genital warts is uncurable. we used to call it pickle peas. It made guys things look like pickles. It also gave women women were more susceptible to getting cervical cancer. So let's go ahead and continue.
People to take tests before you lay with them because you just never know. Especially they might not even tell you.
And you may not still know. If a person caught HIV a month ago, it takes up to 6 months or longer before a test will show positive. So they can literally have it, give it to you, come back negative, and give it to you. Or if he or she is one of them dirty SOBs, they could be taking the medicine and stop taking it and give it to you. So your best bet is monitor it closely. If you dating somebody, stop going out just dropping the drawers and going raw dog with them, because too many of y'all out here doing it, and then you wonder why you catching all these witch comes. And some of these diseases have incubation periods. Like HIV is one. You can have HIV for years and not even realize you have it. You can have most of them. There's like chlamydia. A lot of times it doesn't have any symptoms. There are some diseases that take a few weeks. I don't remember the dates for some of them. I think herpes. When is herpes? 6 weeks? 4 weeks? I don't even remember. I have to go look it up again. But let's go and continue this.
And then that's the thing. I would definitely, if I got to the point where it's some intimacy, getting ready to have, hey, pump the brakes. Let me tell you about me. I'm very open with that because somebody didn't tell me, So I was with a boyfriend for 6 years and found out that he was on the down low. And he didn't tell me.
Yeah, he may not have told you he was on a download, but did he really know that he had it? Some people, I think the longest period before somebody showed symptoms of HIV has been 15 years. So he may or may not have been one of those people. If he didn't have any symptoms, he wouldn't think that he would have it. But if he's on a download, he just knew he was in a high-risk group. But that's not funny, not to make fun of that.
But I also want to know your history too. I don't want to. I'm HIV positive, and I'm good. I'm really good. I don't want to catch syphilis or herpes or gonorrhea or Tret or something that you have that can hurt me. So
well, which most of the gonorrhea, herpes, you can't get rid of once you get it. That's done. Herpes is a virus. So gonorrhea is curable. Tret is curable. Syphilis is even curable, but the thing with syphilis is that you can catch syphilis, get a rash. Once that rash disappears, you can no longer transmit syphilis. But why you're not transmittable anymore? It's eating up your frontal lobe. So that's why most people that have late stage syphilis go batshit crazy. So,
I would definitely like, hey, let's go get tested. We can both go together. I'm self-explanatory about what's going on with me, but tell me about you. And if you don't, let's just all go get tested, do the whole test. And when you get tested, you have to ask for the HIV test. You can't just go in there and say, I want a STI test, because you have to specifically ask for HIV test as well.
And you have to specifically ask for herpes, because they don't test anybody for herpes, because herpes doesn't kill you. They don't ever test you for herpes unless you specifically ask for it. They'll check you for gonorrhea, syphilis, and all these other common STIs or STDs or whatever they're calling them these days. But they do not check for herpes. Now, as far as I know, they will test you. If they think you may have it, they will test you for HIV. They don't do it as often as they used to, but they will check you.
Okay. Well, let's keep going. Did we do the Kendrick here?
Huh?
Did we do the Kendrick?
Speaking, maybe that should be done when people start getting married. So it is a clean slate between the two individuals. That would be a good idea.
Damn, I don't think
no,
we did.
And I have on my house coat because I have to be at work at 3:00 in the morning. So, but let me see where I can set it. Okay, let's set it here.
She's a big one.
But you're not gonna see anything,
Okay, all right. We got you, girl.
but
Okay.
yeah, I'm
Miss,
plump. I'm a little on the plump side, but
we got you, Nina. Okay, I see you, boo. We got
okay,
some paid questions for you.
okay.
Uh, this one said, Billy the Kid said, "Thank you for your bravery, for sharing your story. Keep living your life and shining bright, Queen."
Thank you.
Okay. Lord of Leon said, "This is a difficult circumstance. Isn't there dating groups like that on Facebook for people with HIV or even support groups? Best wishes to her."
I don't know.
You're not sure?
I'm pretty sure there are some groups, even if it's not on Facebook. I'm pretty sure there's groups for everything else, so there has to be some. I've never looked them up. Had no need to, but I'm pretty sure there's a group for almost everything. Cat lovers, dog lovers.
Not sure. Probably is.
Naja said, "WTF kind of law is Ohio passing?"
Oh, it was Ohio. I thought it was North Carolina. Hold on, let's see. Uh, HIV laws. My bad, people. Whoa, wait a minute. Okay, that. When is this? When was the last time this was? Okay, wait a minute. That's not true what she just said. Let's see. Here's the HIV laws for Ohio. Oh, wait a minute. My mouse just died. Hold on. God damn. Here's the HIV laws for Ohio. You'll be charged with a felony if a felony to disclose your HIV status with your partner. Spitting, biting, blood exposure, yes. So she's wrong. It's a felony in Ohio to not disclose your HIV status. And you can even be charged if you bite people, spit people, especially if you knowingly know that you have it. And she knowingly knows that she have it. So that's not right what she said, that she doesn't have to disclose. In Ohio, you have to disclose your HIV status. That is 100% incorrect, boo-boo. I thought she said North Carolina. North Carolina changed it, where as long as you're taking your medicine, you don't have to disclose.
Oh, I guess saying it's not law to tell somebody in Ohio. The world said, "I honestly and truly respect you and your honesty. Thank you for sharing your truth."
Thank you.
This one said, "She wants a clean man without HIV to accept her disease. What world are we living in?"
That's not what I said. I mean, if I said if I can find someone, because I know it's been a couple of people that shared their status on your show, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yes.
you're not the first. I want to just before you finish, she's not the first person to be on my show that has shared that they have HIV. So yes.
And then too, if he's HIV positive, I want to know, just like I've shared, I've been positive for 30 years, undetectable. It's some things come along with being positive. I don't have AIDS. That's totally different. HIV and AIDS is different.
The only difference between HIV and AIDS is your T cell count. You become, when your T cell count gets so low that the virus has pretty much destroyed your immune system, then you develop full blown AIDS because you literally have no immune system. That's the only difference between the two. Is your T cell count. As long as your T cell count stays high enough so it can fight off infections, then you will stay HIV positive. But if that T count starts to trickle down too far, probably in the hundreds, I don't know. I have to go look it up. I think it's somewhere in a couple of hundreds, or it may be lower than that. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I looked some of this stuff up. But then you'll come HIV, full blown HIV. But with the new medicine, like I said, that young girl that I was talking about with all the tattoos and stuff, she was full blown AIDS. And with the new medicine they have now, they brought her from the brink. She was full blown. T cells were rock bottom. And they brought her back from the brink. So even if you do go to full blown AIDS, they can still save you. Don't go there after you're dead. Well, you can't go there after you're dead, but even if full blown, that's not a death sentence. You may have some problems afterwards, but they can bring you back from the brink. There's no question about that.
And another thing, I've always been with men that wasn't HIV positive. So it's not the fact that he clean. I'm clean. I'm clean. I just live with an illness.
Wait, but no, you've been with one man because that's the man that gave it to you, right?
Yeah, that one man. But I've always been in. I was in a 10-year relationship, and he wasn't HIV positive.
So you're saying after you contracted HIV, that ended, then you got into a 10-year relationship and he never got HIV.
Never got HIV, but we used protection too. But he was very well educated.
Right. I will say this. It's not the listen, for some people it's gonna be a hard no from the door. It's just what it is.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm quite sure you are aware that some men is just a non-negotiable, and that's fair. That's fair. I will say, as a girl who grew up in the Magic Johnson area when he made the major announcements, and I know the Johnsons in real life, like literally was with them a few weeks ago. He changed the face, and we've seen Magic Johnson live an amazing life with being HIV positive. So a lot of strides have been made in that field when it comes to HIV. It definitely is not the death STD that it once was. As
Part of that is correct. Back in the 80s, most people were dying from HIV. There wasn't no recovery. I only know one person, and I don't know if they're still alive, but I think, oh gosh, I want to say they had it since the 80s, which means they would have it for at least 40 years. And this person wasn't rich on the hog, so I don't know how. Maybe her immune system was able to keep it at bay, and maybe whatever they were giving her was working. But most people died from HIV. It's not like it is today. Which come, most of that stuff was garbage. The new improved stuff they have now, whoo, man, I heard that stuff. That stuff is like hot bleach on AIDS. I'm not making fun of this. It's just I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to make a horrible situation look better. It's a horrible disease, but they are working. Surprisingly, they are working on a vaccine for HIV slash AIDS. It is. I think the last time I checked, I think it's already in human trials. Let me see, because I think it is. Because they was using the same technique, if I remember correctly, the same technique they were doing with coronavirus. They were using that technique to come up with a vaccine for HIV. So we will see in the future if they ever come out with one. But I think it is in human trials. Yeah, it is. You can actually participate, but it does you no good. It does you no good if you already have the disease. But if you want to join the virus clinical trials, here's the information. There's the website. Here's the phone number. Here's the email address. If you want to learn about the trials, if you brave enough to, I'm not quite that brave yet. I'll wait till it's been proven and tested. But there are some people are willing to, take the risk. Not me though. I'll wait till they get it right, and then I'll try do it. Then I go get it. But it is in human trials. So let's see how that works out.
I was growing up, but even with all that being said, to some people it still would be a non-negotiable.
I totally understand it, and I could honestly say if it was me on the other end and I wasn't positive, I probably would be like, you know, it's just what it is. But that being positive doesn't exclude me from being in love.
It doesn't. It doesn't exclude you from being in love, but you do have to honor if a man, just like, I mean, I think you do honor this, though. That's why you're being so transparent. Just like you have to be very careful with who you lay with. Like, even you're saying if someone has HIV, you got to see, because you said that's because they have HIV doesn't mean that they're healthy. So, that's where some people are mind boggling. Like, what do you mean if they have HIV, they're not healthy? But I see what you're saying. You're saying you have HIV, but you're still healthy, but that is a concern for you. So now there's a person who just doesn't have HIV at all that just might not want to take that chance, you
And
know?
and and that's the stigma behind being HIV positive too. That's the stigma that me and countless others live with. But the difference with me is I don't care. If they don't want to be in my life, I am so okay with that. Because that's only thing I see with that is God's protection for me. So
And
I'm
they
okay with that, and I'm very understandable.
Now, this blows my mind. How is you have an HIV God's protection? Wouldn't that be more like God's curse? You got a disease that's uncurable that if you stop taking your medicine, you're gonna die from. You'll go full blown AIDS. How is that? Never mind. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Even when I was in a relationship with a guy a year ago, and we was together, and, he get people get in their head and all this sort of stuff. When it's he and I, it's fine. But it was, oh God, y'all know Nina got, and then see the thing what they say, she's got AIDS. I don't have AIDS. I don't. So it's a big thing, and it kind of like scared him. But he made his decision. I accepted it, and it didn't hurt my feelings. It used to, but it doesn't. I have to have a thick skin. You know,
Well, let's continue. We're almost done. Nina, when was your last relationship?
about a year ago,
Okay. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
That should tell you guys something. Now, even though she is taking her meds and keeping her levels correct, she's still having sex with guys. She's still willing to risk it. Condoms are 80% effective. If you use Trojans, they're probably a little bit better. If you lose lifestyles, you doomed. I don't even think they make lifestyles anymore. Those are one of the worst condoms, and they used to give them away back in the '80s. They used to give them away like candy. The health department would drive around and give them away, but you will pop them just by. No, never mind. But let's go ahead.
He obviously knows your status.
He definitely knows my
So
stuff.
what's up with him? Why is he not an option?
He's young. He's young. Um,
Why are you dating a young guy? See, this doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, never mind.
he's just too young.
Okay.
I would like to know how young are we talking? Are we talking teenage young? We talking 20 young? 30? I've got the feeling it's probably in late teens, maybe somewhere in the 20s that don't really care.
Just too young.
Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
Let me see. 3 flaws I have to work on. Maybe getting out more. I'm like a secluse, so I work and come home and go to the grocery store, that type of thing. Procrastination. Trying to write this book, and I'm halfway there, and could have finished it when I was out for a while, but it's still laying on the table. but and I let go easily. You
Let
know,
go
I,
easily.
yeah, I just if you leave me or do something to me, I never see you again. Even if you walk past me, I will never acknowledge you ever again. That's
There
my
you go.
piece.
There you have it. Okay. So Nina, why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
I'm very honest. I'm very open. I'm very loving, and it's old cliche, but when a woman loves, a woman loves. I take care of myself. I take.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Baby girl, you're not the thinnest cookie in the drawer. If you really took care of yourself, you wouldn't be. I don't know how much you weigh. You probably pushing to something, but you don't take exactly good. Your health needs massive improvement. That's why I'm worried about you only going to the doctor once a year instead of 2 or 3 times a year to make sure your cholesterol and everything is on check. I'm almost willing to bet if you go and get you a whole complete screening, you're gonna have a whole lot of red signs outside of the HIV. So I'm not sure how healthy you really are. The HIV may be under control, but you definitely lose some weight, and you may want to go talk to your physician on how to lose some weight. They got some stuff out now. I heard that works pretty well. But yeah, I would definitely suggest you work on that.
Care of my family. I work. My daughter said I work too much. My wife just need a second job because everything is freaking high, and I want to have some cushion. Um,
That makes sense.
I'm a God fearing woman. Um, I love life. I'm a happy woman.
That's very nice, but here's the problem. You haven't said one thing that a man would be interested in. And I think that's the problem with a lot of women today. They don't know what men they tell us what they think we want, but not what we really want. So I think she probably, well, I would say ask a woman for advice about men, but some women are just as bad as up there. Well, anyway, I'll leave that alone too.
All right, let's do it. Nina, you are 57. What's the age range you want to date?
Um, 55 to maybe 62.
Okay.
Okay.
55. Oh, my pen died. Okay, here it is. 55 to 62. Should he be in North Carolina?
No,
No.
this is my year to travel. You don't have to be in North Carolina.
Okay. We have some patients.
Wait a minute. I did hear North Carolina, but then I also heard Ohio. So what state is she living in? I distinctly heard she said she was in North Carolina. Then I heard the state. Somebody correct me if I didn't hear that right. I'm gonna go back and listen to this afterwards. But I could have sworn I heard her say she lived in North Carolina. I went and looked it up, and then she said later on she said Ohio because the laws for HIV are very different between Ohio and North Carolina. Now she had it 32 years ago. She said she had this for 32 years ago. If she didn't tell anybody prior to 2018 when they changed the laws in North Carolina, she would have got a misdemeanor. Now, if she really lives in Ohio, Ohio is still a felony. So let's find out. Let's keep listening.
8 questions. I think I read this one. Honestly and truly respect your honesty. Thank you for sharing your truth. Okay, we read that one. Um, this one said undetectable equals untransmittable, proven for over 10 years.
Well, it's not over 10 years. If it's undetectable, you can't transmit it. The new drugs make you undetectable. I said that before. If she went and got an HIV test, she would come back negative. And that's the problem. I mean, it's a good thing that she's controlling it. But if somebody's HIV positive and they taking the medicine, even if you went and had a screening done and you didn't know he was HIV positive, he would come back undetectable. And if he ever decides to stop taking his medicine, he will be transmittable again. So, yes, I agree with go get tested, but I would also have the doctor test for possible I don't know what drugs they're giving out now, but to test for those drugs and see if any of those drugs is in that person's system. Because if it is, they might be hiding a secret and not telling you about it.
Exactly.
Okay. So it means because it's undetectable, you can't transmit it.
Correct.
No.
Listen, I hear you, girlfriend, but some people still might be like, it's just one of those things. It shouldn't be, but
Yeah, it should be. Nobody wants a death sentence. I mean, it's not a death sentence anymore. But nobody wants to take medicine for the rest of their life. And I understand her need for love and companionship, and I commend her coming on here live and letting us all know her story. But it's gonna be a tough road, baby girl. It really is, because a lot of guys, unless you meet a guy who just don't give a flying heck, even with a condom. Even if I met the finest chick on the planet, she said she was HIV, even with a condom, I still wouldn't have sex with her. Yeah, I'm not even willing to take that risk. But some guys are willing to throw the dice. I mean, what happens if you stop taking your medicine and he decides he doesn't want to use condoms anymore? So, but I hope it all works out for you, girl.
I think you understand that part.
Yeah.
But like I do stand on, it definitely is not the stigma that it once had. We have made so many strides when it comes to HIV. So, and like you said, she's undetectable. All right, let's go to this one. Um, let me go to this. This one said, if you're in a relationship for 6 months and then they want to break up, respectfully, it sounds more like they didn't like you. By the way, you look like Monique.
What do you mean they didn't like me?
I guess they're saying after 6 months y'all broke up for whatever reason. I mean, breakups happen, child. I don't know.
Breakup out, yeah. And I look like who? Monique?
Well, Monique is beautiful. You take that as a compliment.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was saying Monique, yeah.
Yeah, but I think Monique was one of those. She was one of those girls who was promoting overweight. But I forgot the movement they called it. Body positivity. And so even now, if you look at Monique, she's lost a lot of weight, and I guarantee you it's related to health issues. Because she was a big girl, and that was completely unhealthy. And like I wish this young lady would focus on her health, because even if the HIV doesn't kill her, she's probably going to end up dying from a heart attack. She is way too big for her frame size. She will probably be, if she was close to 120, 130, perfect weight size. And she'll probably catch the eye of a whole lot more men, too. Yeah, fun size. That's always wonderful to have.
Yeah, Monique is beautiful. DeHonday07 said, you're a brave woman. Many blessings to you. I hate that a cowardly DL dude gave this woman a lifelong sentence like this. He should be in jail. Was it now? I thought there was a law to this. So
Well, it is, and it varies from state to state. But before there was a cure for or a way to prevent you from dying, most states had harsh laws. 15 years was not unheard of. I showed you the what is it? Let's go back to Ohio. Let's see. Let's go back to Ohio. Let's see. That's not the one I'm looking for. So I think it looks like right around. So 13 states look like, as of 2021, 13 states modernized the HIV. But let's go back and look at Ohio. Now here's Ohio. Of course, you see Ohio. They don't play that mess. You will go to jail for that. But she said she lives in North Carolina. And North Carolina modernized it in 2018, which means if she had sex with somebody before 2018, she would have been charged with a misdemeanor, which is a smack on her hand. She get up to 2 years in prison. But 2 years is nowhere near what a person should get that gave someone else HIV. In other states, I think there's only 13 states that has appealed it or modernized it, which means they either lowered the sentence in time or lowered the charge, which means they may have went from a felony to a misdemeanor and may have went from 15, 20 years down to 2 or 3. But there's still a lot of states that have harsh comes on it. So let's continue.
you found out, the person who gave it to you, correct?
Yes, he's my boyfriend.
So it wasn't illegal for him not to tell you?
Yeah, he should have told me, but when you go to, if I was to say, he gave me HIV positive, then the whole case, they would have to. It's so intense how they do the strands and all this medical stuff they have to go through. My thing is I didn't see him after for 21 years, about 21 years, and I thank God I didn't see him. But
My question is, how do you know he was the one that gave it to you? Now, she said she was with him for 10 years. Is it possible somebody else may have given it to you? Maybe you caught it beforehand? Was he ever tested? I know HIV mutates, so sometimes you can track back to who gave it to you based on the mutation that mutated strand that you have. But it doesn't sound like she actually had any of that stuff done. So she may not. He may be the one. I don't know, but I don't think she went and investigated. And yes, I know it's going to be hard to go out and say, "Hey, I think Wintercom gave me this," and they go test him, and yeah, I can see how all that's a big mess, and she may have just said, "Forget it," and not going about her business. But yeah, back then time she would have got it. It would have been he would have got a felony charge.
in that 21, because I probably would have killed him, but because
Well, when you broke up, how long after you broke up, when did you find out you had HIV? You was
like
HIV positive,
a month later,
and then you never saw him again.
I never saw him again.
Would he
I
move out the
moved-
country?
No, we were living in Charlotte, and I came home and moved to Gastonia. But
Oh, well, okay, I'm here in Charlotte again. But even if she would have found out, most he would have got in Charlotte was 2 years in North Carolina.
it's just like he fell off the face of the earth, and I just never seen him again. And I thank God I didn't, because that's when I started getting, not religious, but finding my faith and my healing, going through my healing process. And I did a sabbatical for a couple of months, and to get an understanding, and I found some acceptance, and I forgave him. Now had I had seen him within that time, I probably would have hurt him. I've seen him a couple of times in the last couple of years. But
Have you ever talked to him about
yeah,
what he did?
and the question was, I was like, why did you not tell me? Why didn't you give me an opportunity to make this decision for myself? And he was like, somebody gave it to him. So you ruined my life.
Well, whoa. Is it possible? Is it possible that he may not have known? Because you said that you didn't know that you had it until what, a month later, a couple of weeks after you broke up. 10 years, which means you could have actually caught it before him, or he could have got it. But if he got it before you, he should have been showing symptoms before you. I wasn't there, but I don't know who gave it to her. I mean, it's possible the guy before him could have gave it to her, and she just started popping out with it. But HIV works so funny on different people, and it depends on what your immune system is. Unless you actually go out and have somebody go in and find out who has what strand. And in that case, if there was another guy, they could still have the same strand. It may not have mutated between them. So, I don't know. But let's continue.
And this is somebody that I dated when we was like 14, 15. And then we split, and I was probably 23, 24, something like that. And we met up again, and we was like, we always had that for each other. And he's like, okay, let's do this, But I knew into the relationship, probably 6 months into the relationship, I kept getting chlamydia. And I would go to the doctor.
Wait, whoa. In most cases, it takes up to 6 months before you can test for it. You're not going to show signs of HIV in 6 months. Boo-boo. There's only a few strands that's that aggressive, and you wouldn't have survived that strand. There was a HIV strand that was so aggressive, you could literally go from HIV, you can go from no signs of HIV to full positive within a year or two. And I wish I knew the name of that strand. But that was a nasty strand. It was taking people out like raisinets. So if you haven't...
And the doctor, I get cleared and everything. And then I'll tell him, you need to get checked because I'm getting chlamydia and you must be giving it to me or whatever. And he's like, I don't have chlamydia. And then he'll say he got checked. I'll be like, well, where's the papers? But then, me in love, get chlamydia again, sleep with him again, get chlamydia again. And the doctor told me, if you keep getting chlamydia, this is going to.
Chlamydia, chlamydia, is a common sexually transmitted disease. Sexually transmitted diseases are infections spread mainly by contact with genitals or bodily fluids, also called STDs, STIs, or venereal disease. Sexually transmitted infections are caused by bacteria, viruses, or parasites. Chlamydia is caused by Chlamydia trachomatis, true KOH, mu, tis bacteria, and spread through oral, vaginal, or anal sex. You might not know you have chlamydia because many people don't have symptoms such as genital pain and discharge from the vagina or penis. Chlamydia trachomatis affects mostly young women, but it can occur in both men and women and in all age groups. It's not difficult to treat, but if left untreated, it can lead to more serious health problems.
So I don't know who told her that lie.
Because of how bad it is. And we broke up, and I came home, and it was time for my yearly, and they asked me, would you like to take HIV test? And I was like, sure, because my mindset was, well, it ain't gonna happen to me, and it happened to me. So
Now, what I find interesting, now I know back then, because back in the 80s, everybody was getting HIV tests. They had a test that was, I wonder if she's been checked since then. Because because I remember they had some what they call rapid tests. Almost like the new rapid test stand for COVID. You literally wipe your hand and you'll find out in minutes that you're positive. They had rapid tests that had a high error, mark of error, which means you can literally take that HIV test, come back positive, and you're literally negative. And there was a case where a woman literally lived her life for years thinking she had HIV, and the test was absolutely wrong. And then when she went got tested again, she found out she never had HIV. She lived. Gosh, I got. If I find the link, I'm gonna post in the channel. If I can find this lady, I'm gonna post her link in the channel. But this happened back in, I think it was the 80s, 90s. This poor lady, she lived years in fear, thought she had HIV, and the test was absolutely wrong. And I knew back in the days when I used to take it when I was young, the first thing the doctor said, this test is prone to be wrong. It had a large margin of error of coming back positive even when you were negative. Mine always came back negative, but you had a chance of that happening. So anyway, which I always wonder. Now I know Magic Johnson had it for a while, but he had money. So let's go ahead and continue this.
I'm okay with it, though. I
I
used to
think
do
that,
the.
but I want to say this. I feel like you have a testimony on, I feel like God works in mysterious ways. I know you called us to find you a man, and they're probably, and you will, who knows, you may get that in this, that's the main reason. But I think your story is also enlightening a lot of people because there's a lot of people who have recreational sex regularly without taking, it serious. They're not requiring tests before they have sex. And I think
They're not even required condoms. Most women don't even bring up the word condom when you're about to have sex. That if you ever went out and you had, even if you met her the same night, or if you dated her for 6 months down the road, I can count on one hand the number of girls that brought up the word condom. If that doesn't scare the shit, if that don't scare the mess out of you, nothing will. Which means if she had sex with you without a condom, she didn't have sex with everybody else. You are nobody special. That means she's letting everybody shoot up that club and not even have any tests done. I have never had one girl ask me for a test. I've had, and like I said, I can think of two girls that actually brought it up. I even tested them almost to the point of penetration, and they didn't say anything. And I like, hold on, let me put this on. So I know they out there. A lot of them are out here not getting the club shot up with nothing raw, and you guys better watch out. And you ladies better watch out, because you out here letting these guys, and most of y'all dating the same guys, and you letting him shoot up your club, you don't know what he got. He went down there and had sex with this nasty chick, and now you letting him shoot up in you. Y'all need to be careful. It's just because they almost got a cure for it, doesn't mean it's still not spreading.
If anything, this is an educational conversation that, listen, I know y'all be hot and bothered and you want to go there. There's so many situationships have replaced relationships where now there's no commitments. You are knowingly having sex with a person that you know.
But here's a commitment. Let me just pause this for a second. Men will lie to get the coochie. A man, and I know I've have. We'll sit there. Yes, I have a commitment with you just so they can smack the cheeks. Just because a man committed to you doesn't mean that he's committed to you. And I think y'all need to caution women. Just because he said he's committed doesn't mean he is. Because there's a lot of men that say, yes, I'm committed to you. Just because that's exactly what the woman wants to hear. And then he go on to the next year and just call her whenever he needs. Hey, what's up, boo-boo? Okay, I'm going. Yeah, I'm working late. I'll talk to you later. Smack somebody else's cheeks. So you want a real commitment? Make that man marry you. Make him marry you. That's the true commitment. Because if a man really wants to be with you, he can put that ring on that finger. You just smacking cheeks, you just another woman he's smacking cheeks with. So if y'all need that commitment stuff, take it with a grain of salt. Because there's a lot of guys out here doing it. And women are too. Women that sit there and say, I'm a commitment beast. Somebody else smacking them cheeks when you're not in and around. So it goes both ways.
You're not only their own partner. Like this is what a situationship is, where you have agreed to be sexual with a person and you know you guys are not exclusive.
Right.
Now, whether you're using protection or not, you are aligning yourself to potentially contract something. So if anything, I hope the people watching will start to take sex as a serious act as it is, because it can have a lifelong effect. That one moment, I don't know whether it was 10 minutes, an hour, child, I don't know, however long it lasted, can be with you for a lifetime.
And I've and
Um,
I for 10, 15 years I advocated. I did the walks, I did the speeches, and how you could contract the virus and things. And you got that young generation. I don't care. All I have to do is take a pill. No, you don't want to have to take a pill for the rest of your life. It's not just the fact of taking a pill. It's the things that come along with taking the pill, the depression, a whole lot of stuff. So it's just I try to educate as much as I.
Well, yes, I think there are some side effects, but most medicines do have side effects. I really should have prepared myself better for this. Because I don't even know what the name of the medicines they're giving out now, but most medicines have some side effects. Some people, everybody's not like me. I have almost no side effects to anything. I can put, hey, you're allergic to penicillin? Nope, go shoot me up. You're allergic to this? No, I ain't allergic. I ain't allergic to shit. I'm one of the people who ain't allergic to nothing. I'm also one of them people who almost never get sick. Yeah. Last time I even had the flu was probably over 6 years ago. And that's because I caught it because I was close contact with somebody in the same room and they were hacking for hours. We were in the same office and I caught his nasty stuff. But normally I don't get sick. If you eat, and one of my favorite things I love is lemons. It's that vitamin C, boy, that vitamin C and zinc, it's a good thing for you. But anyway, let's go and continue. I'm over here rambling again.
Can, especially in my little town. Everybody in my town probably know. Yeah, Nina has, they say it all different kind of ways, but it don't bother me.
this was the person that was, um, okay, this one. The world said people need to stop if anyone is hunching with getting tested. You take the risk. Now back to business. Um, do you put fat back in your collard greens? Oh God. Let's keep going. All right, I think we're done. Well, this one said filing charges. Filing charges while still grieving with the thought of your family finding out is a lot to handle. By the way, I love you, Kendra. Thank you so much. Thank you, Johnny. Johnny Incredible. I think it's too late for you to file charges.
Yeah, most things now. It depends on what the charge was, because most criminal charges have what they call a statute of limitation. There's only one charge that doesn't have a statute of limitation. That's murder. They can catch you, and most of it, I think it's about right around 5 years. Where if you don't file, nothing happens. You pass the statute. So she probably passed the statute of limitations. But if he would have killed her, or he would have gave it to her and she died, prior to them changing the laws, they may have gotten him for, they would have probably gotten him for some kind of misdemeanor charge, uh, or life endangerment or some crazy charge. But he would have did some time. But either which way, let's continue.
Is right?
Oh no, it's not too late. It's just that I'm not, because he's suffering enough.
I think it may be too late. You still alive? It's too late. I think you passed the statute of limitations on this. But anyway.
You said, say it again?
I said it's not too late for me to file charges. It's just that I'm not. For one, I've gained some acceptance because two, I could have asked. You know, I take responsibility on my part, and two, he's suffering like hell. He blind, on drugs real bad, living his best nasty life. So
Okay.
payback
You
is a
let, so
mother.
karma served him.
Yes, karma is serving him really good.
Okay.
It's common stuff.
The world said, can we move on, Kendra G? I'm nervous and ready to check my chart. No, we're not. I had to cut somebody out for this. Listen, let me tell y'all something. If I'm in a conversation with a guest, I'm in a conversation with a guest. If you don't like how long the conversation is going on with the guest, then do something else with your damn time. Okay? I will not be rushed in the way I host my show. Now, you don't have to agree with it, but you can take your ass somewhere else. And guess what? All these complaints I be getting during these live shows, oh, she spent too much time with that guest. Your ass sit there and watch the replay, the
Then
whole
you
entire replay. Your ass sit there with popcorn, text it, all tuned the hell in the long guest shows. So let me tell y'all something. It's 2025. I ain't got time for this shit. If you don't like how long a conversation is going with a guest, go take your Mary ass or your Billy ass, man or woman, somewhere else and do something else with your time.
and
This is
didn't
a
you tell
very
him this
important.
last night?
Say it again.
You spoke about this last night.
Yeah, because I feel like, and this goes for anybody, because I've seen this at times. People saying, "Oh, she spent too much time." I don't give a damn what you think. All you can control is you, and
Yeah.
go somewhere else if that's how you feel. To me, this is a very important conversation, and I really want everyone, whether we get you a man or not, and that is the goal. So there's probably a guy watching who might not be bothered by this, and all you need is one person to be in agreement. But the other lesson is the serious act of sex that I think is not taken serious enough.
Yeah.
So there you have it. But we
I think what she said, she want to check my chart. She might be one of those women who's letting everybody shoot up her club. That's why she's getting because a lot of these women out here are literally having guys back to back meeting him Monday every week. They going out to the clubs having sex with different guys, and none of them are getting tested. And she don't and you know. And none of them are doing anything. She's not using any protection. He's not using any protection. The club is the worst place in the world to find a man, because that's where you are more likely to find somebody HIV positive in a club. Yeah, all the guys and women that got the HIV is hanging out in the clubs. I know the clubs are seen as kind of dying now because men are getting tired of the BS with these modern women. But if you want to find them, the club is the place to find them.
are almost done. Let's do it. Nina, are you on the Kendra G Singles dating app?
I have downloaded. I haven't uploaded my face yet. But
Okay, well, you got to upload your face, set up
Yeah.
your profile. Let's see if we can find you love. Okay, girl?
yes, ma'am.
All right. Bye. I wish you the best. Thank you so much.
Well, before we end this, here's some stalling. This is straight from the CDC, so they keep a track record. The third largest population in the United States is Black African Americans, but yet they are the highest. They have the highest infectious rate of HIV. The next are Hispanic and Latinos. there's not much of a difference. There's only a 5% difference. The third lowest is whites. Then you have multiracial. I don't know what group they consider that. Asian, American, and Alaskan Native American Indians, and Alaska Natives, 1%. And if you look at these groups here, now this I can't. They're not specifically determining what multiracial is, so I don't know what groups they're bundling in that. But these groups here, right here, are highly family oriented. You don't see Native Americans running around, running butt naked, having sex with everybody. They very organized in that with communities. Same thing with Native Americans and they marry and they have kids by one guy. Asian, very tight. That messing around having babies by multiple different dudes, that's no. That's frowned upon in the Asian community. But if you look, it's all looking up here. The largest population in the U.S. has only 20% of HIV infections. The second largest population, Hispanics, Latinos, are 32%. That's 12,167 infected. And I think this was by state and race. This was in 2022, so I'm pretty sure that's changed. Look at it. So the highest were African Americans. And you look at, there are more women, even though there's more women than men, but percentage-wise, women, black women are has the highest percentage of HIV positive. Let me go tell you this again. Black African American women, by percentage of number of women in here, 50% is HIV positive. That's an alarming number because they out here letting every guy shoot up the club. They don't want to use protection. The second largest is whites. And the third is Latino women. And then multiracial, and we look at the family-oriented group, Asians, American Indians, Native Hawaiians, and other Pacific Highlanders. Actually, there is less than 1%. But these tend to be groups that are highly family-oriented. And we go over here. The highest percentage of males that have it, 30% of the males, of the 13% of the population of the U.S., are infected with HIV. That got diagnosed in 2022 with HIV. That is a massive number. That's a 14% difference in women, and women outmatch the men, outnumber the men. So you have a large population of women running around here that's HIV positive because they're out here having babies with all these dudes, and they're not using any protection, and they just laying down and they're having sex with Rookie, Ray Ray, and Pookie, and they have sex with so many guys they don't know who gave them the disease. Because by the time they find out they have it, they done already slept through 50, 60, 70 dudes. The average woman would go through four dudes a month. That's 48 dudes in a year. Now, not the average woman, but the one that's going butt wild, 48,000. But even if she went through 12 a year, that's still a lot. Because now you got to backtrack who actually gave it to her. And if you got 12 years and you're going through a 10-year period before you find out you have it, that's 120 people. Even if you went raw dog once a month. That's the problem. Now, if we stop and brought back, it's an old thing that Trump says, which I don't follow Trump at all. But if you want to make America great again, you work on building families. Women need to realize, laying out, you are high risk of catching whatever diseases out there. Your vajayjay is basically an open wound. It is easier for a man to give a woman HIV than a woman is to give a man. But either which way, most of y'all are catching it because y'all all sleeping with the same nasty dudes. Just look. 2022, 50% of the black women were HIV positive. According to this, uh, based off percentage, 50%. That's an alarming number. Which means there are more HIV black women in the U.S. than there are white women, who has the largest population. And you even beat black men. You have 14% more than they do. So who's really giving HIV to who? You all sleeping with the same nasty dudes. So my thing is, this is something that you all of y'all women out here let guys shoot up your clubs and having sex with them and not using any protection and not married to your husbands, not getting all any of these tests done. That you could be the next poster child for this. So I'm gonna stop I'm started running my mouth again, but that's straight off the CDC. And this, and they track this stuff. They track all kind of infectious diseases, HIV, all of it. But let's go ahead and continue. We're gonna go ahead and close this out. I commend her for trying to make it with this dreaded illness, but all she can do is live a life. My only recommendation, I would suggest that she see a doctor more than once a year, and definitely work on her health, so especially the weight, because at her age she's way too big, and she's like a heart attack waiting to happen. So if she can start getting on a weight program, that would help her out a lot. One, in finding a man, and two, just to stay healthy. I mean, that's just one less illness to work on. That's what my suggestion is. Live your life the best way you can, girlfriend. And focus more on the health, losing weight. That'll definitely help your immune system and everything else. So let's go ahead and finish this up.
So much for being transparent with us.
No problem. Thank you, Kendra. Love you. Keep
Love you more.
striving.
Bye, baby. Bye,
Bye.
sweetheart.